welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. And keeping with the theme of Washington Wine Month, we're looking at 3 Washington State wines. And one of the things I have said about Washington State, and I've said it many, many times, this state can produce almost every varietal very well. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. Pinot Noir doesn't always do good all over the state, although now on the south end of the Columbia Gorge, near Hood River, they are producing some Pinot Noir. In fact, I have a couple of favorite producers that do a pretty nice Pinot in that area. In particular, Savage Grace. Michael Savage does a good job with this Pinot Noir. But certainly not of the level of Willamette Valley or Burgundy and things like that. However, the other one is Zinfandel. Not a lot of Zinfandel comes out of Washington State, although we do have one here, and I'm pretty stoked about trying this one. Never even seen this label before, so this is going to be exciting. But we're going to start right off with the CasaSmith Barbera Northridge Vineyard Wahluke Slope. Wahluke Slope is a huge appellation in Washington State. This is a 2016. And this is part of Charles Smith's portfolio. This rolls in at $21. Now, Charles Smith has been great for the Washington wine industry. He's made some world-class wines, got big scores in the wine periodicals. So he's done good for the Washington State wine. He has one of the largest urban wineries in the United States. So I've been there. It's a pretty cool place. Charles Smith looks like Sammy Hagar with a little extra weight. So this is a Barbera. Now, do you know where Barbera hails from? Where is it famous? Where's the most famous place it comes from? Who does Barbera the best? Make a comment if you know the answer to that question. Hopefully I remember to answer it on the next episode. Anyway, Barbera is known to be grown in this other country, and they do quite a good job of it, and I'm traveling there pretty soon, so I get to try some Barberas from there. However, Barbera is also grown in Washington State. Let's see what we get on the nose. Deep, deep, deep cherry notes. I mean, I love cherries. You know those black cherries, really dark cherries? That's what I'm getting on the nose. Good color on this, by the way. Very, very, very dark. Unlike the country where they grow it a lot, this is a much darker version, which we'd expect from the New World, right? Get a little bit of tobacco, dark cherry. There's an interesting little like pencil lead sort of minty thing coming through right at the back side. I like that a lot. Might be a little bit of blueberry. Very expressive nose, very deep, very dense, very seductive. Let's see what we get on the palate. That baby was difficult to spit out because it's so rich. I mean, it's got these big, deep, black cherry notes. A little bit of blueberry thrown in there as well. I was right on the nose. It came through on the palate. That just barely. A little bit of mint on the back end. But what I like about this, it is very spicy, like black and white pepper notes all through front to finish, and it's still lingering on my palate. Now, this is not the type of Barbera they grow in the old world, in the country where Barbera is famous. No, this is much different. But it just shows that Washington State can do Barbera very well. This is a good Barbera. If you're an old world Barbera drinker, you might not like this, but don't expect it to be old world. Expect it to be new world, then your anticipation will be different. Your expectations will be different if you look at it that way. So it's 15% alcohol. The tobacco, big time on the backside. 15% alcohol, so it's not a, it's definitely higher up in that category, but it's very well integrated in with the wine. I don't get any burn. I think Charles Smith has done a nice job of balancing this wine out with the spice, the fruit, and the tobacco notes that come through. So it's funny, a customer was coming through my department the other day, and she said, I said, can I help you? And she said, well, I'm just reading your notes. There's a lot of tobacco in this department. Because, you do get tobacco notes on wine quite a bit. This has even a little bit of bark coming through on the backside. Soft tannins, very approachable. 21 bucks is absolutely a stellar wine. I mean, it's just got such good balance, good flow, very seamless, very well integrated. Just everything about it is good. Nice long finish with a little bit of that white and black pepper coming through. Yeah, I'm going to go straight up A. That is a solid wine. Let's move on. Actually, I expected the Barbera to be a little bit lighter than the Tempranillo from Saviah Cellars, so I hope I put it in the right order. I'm never too sure with Charles Smith. I should have known better. He likes to extract his wines. There's no doubt about that. For my good friend Rich Funk, 2013 Saviah Cellars Tempranillo, Walla Valley. This rolls in at $38. Walla fruit demands a lot of money. I don't always agree with that, but they're definitely one of the more expensive places to buy fruit in the state of Washington. Rich Funk is just the nicest guy ever. I forgive him for dishing me on one of my tastings. It's okay, Rich. You can come back sometime in the future. Let's see what we get on the nose. Now, I don't know if you remember, but in my interview with Kyle Welch and Cassie, I think about a month ago, from Longship Cellars, my 2018 Winery of the Year. I always pick a Winery of the Year at the end of the year. I kind of have a couple in mind now for 2019. Kind of excited about what I've been tasting recently. But Kyle has a great touch with wine, and he's very jacked up about Tempranillo. He likes it a lot, and they do a good job with Tempranillo. I think it's, what was that? Painted Hills? What was it? What was the name of that vineyard? I can't remember. Painted Rock or something like that. Vineyard up near Chelan, where he gets his Tempranillo. Rich Funk gets his from Walla. So let's see what we get on the nose. I kind of backed up for a minute because this is like currants, tobacco, and almost like roasted meat element coming through. What vintage did I say? 2013. One of my favorite vintages in Washington State. Now I've had this one for a couple of years. A little bit of dirt coming through as well. Currants, dirt, tobacco. This is very rich on the nose as well, so I'm not so nervous now about coming after the Barbera. Really good deep color on this one also. Now, that being said, where is Tempranillo most famous? What country? I asked about Barbera. What old world country is famous for Tempranillo? Make a comment. I'll mention it in my next video, if I remember. I'm not, sometimes I'm busy, sometimes I forget. I'm going to really try not to forget this one. A little bit of a chocolate mocha thing coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot of you guys are going to dig this one. It's not as heavy, not as big and fruit forward as that Barbera from CasaSmith from Charles, but this one has definitely got good flow. It has got good. This one definitely very smooth across the palate, very balanced. It has a lot of finesse. The currants are definitely there. That vanilla mocha chocolate thing comes through big time. And then on the backside of this one as well, hard to believe it could follow this Barbera and still have that kind of white pepper, black pepper thing going on. The earth and tobacco notes kind of rise up on the mid palate. You can kind of get them there, and then they finish on the very back end. I get that tobacco kind of earthy, forest floor thing coming through on the backside. I'm going to say that this Tempranillo from Rich Font from Saviah Cellars will blossom quite a bit in the next 5 years. I'd give it another 5 years. This baby is going to rocket in 5 years. I'm actually kind of sad I opened it. Not really. Just for you guys, right? For your edification. If you have a 13 Saviah Cellars Tempranillo in your cellar right now, leave it there for at least 3 more years, please. (14.2) alcohol. This baby has a lot. What I like about this one is it has a lot of old world stuff. It has new world stuff. It has a lot of things going on the palate. Good complexity. It is a little closed right now. I'm just saying. But that being said, and I'm not going to. I gotta trust my gut on this because I do have this knack for understanding wine's ageability and breathability and all that. I think this will open up later today. And it is also an A wine. We have 2 in a row. That's pretty amazing. That's awesome. Let's move on. A. Pretty cool. Now, one I was excited about, a Zinfandel from Washington State. One of the probably few producers who do a good job with Zinfandel would be Maryhill. They have a Zinfandel that's very close to Lodi in Amador County. I mean, just that big, bold stuff that Zinfandel is known for. Now, when I drink a Zinfandel, I'm expecting that big, bold, jammy stuff. Now, some people search out the Sonoma stuff, you know, the Sonoma Zins that have a little bit more restraint. Zin can have pretty solid tannins, which a lot of people don't realize because they're known to be kind of jammy. But when I drink a Zin, I'm kind of looking for that flavor profile just because, you know, I drink a lot of old world stuff. So, you know, every once in a while when I go new world, I want to go big time new world. Smuckers. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I don't appreciate some of the Sonoma stuff coming out of there. But I do like Amador and Lodi Zins. So this is from, the 2016 City Limits Zinfandel Wahluke Slope. And this rolls in at $18, crafted by Morgan Lee. I was going to look up Morgan Lee. I did not do that. If you want to look him up. Morgan Lee. There you go. So, Zinfandel. Now, here's another question for you. Little quiz show here going on. There's another name for Zinfandel, and it grows in another old world country. Do you know the answer to that? Put it on the bottom. Make a comment, and I will answer all 3 of these in the next episode. So Zinfandel is known by another name in another country. Which country is that and what is that name? Where is Tempranillo famous from? I mean, where they grow it the most and where it really got its fame. And Barbera, where is that grown the most and is most famous from? I don't know if I'm framing that question right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see what we get on the notes. So this has a little bit of that jammy element coming through on the nose. I'm getting like grape currant jelly. Not grape currant jelly. Currant jam is what I'm getting. I get a little bit of a wood component coming through. A little bit of black raspberry as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. My, oh my. Wahluke slope. I'm curious where they get their fruit. This, my friends, is what I look for in Zinfandel. It has chocolate, currants. It's big, but it's not over the top. There's no flabby elements in this. There's good structured tannins underneath, which I like quite a bit. A little bit of tobacco comes through on the finish. There's that tobacco again, or a little bit of wood, old wood coming through. Black raspberry right on the backside with that kind of earthy, woody tobacco thing coming through. The tannins give it a little bit of a grip, and I like the white pepper notes. They kind of linger on the backside. They start coming through on the finish, and then they linger on the back end. This, my friends, could rival Lodi or Amador County. I mean, it's a well-made Zinfandel. It's exactly what I look for when I grab a Zinfandel. I guarantee you this bottle will not make it through tonight. I'm just saying. Wow. Let me try that again. That's impressive. I like the structure. I like the fruit. I like the spiciness. I like that tannic grip on the back end. And you need to pair this up with some barbecue ribs. Oh, that'd be delicious. It'd be excellent with that. And then that tobacco and earthiness at the very back end that just keeps on going. Now, the alcohol on this one is 16%. So it's up there, guys. It's up there, but it's not. There's a little bit of burn on the back end, but let me tell you, it's so solid that I can forgive it for a little bit of a heat on the back end, for sure. I think a lot of you that like Zinfandel will love this one. It is definitely, just saying, going to make it into my set at the store. Really like it. I'm going to go A. 3 A's in a row. Beautiful show. I love it. Love it. Washington Wine Month. Washington State is known for its diversity in making several varieties of grapes, and it even proved it with Zinfandel, which is, of course, most famous in California. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I hope you're enjoying these episodes on Washington Wines. I know I like doing them. I hope you make a comment about those questions that I asked. Please do. Please do. That means a lot to me. And I'll answer your comment too. I love the comments. Thank you, David. David's been commenting quite a bit. I love it. Love it. Thank you for watching. You keep watching. Oh. Don't forget to hook up with me on Instagram and Twitter at Stan the Wine Man. You keep watching. And I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.